Chris Shannick, CYInterview covering Las Vegas and the world. We continue our road to WrestleMania today right here in front of the El Cortez Hotel and Casino in downtown Las Vegas by revisiting the CYInterview with the Ugandan Giant Kamala. And here it is. We are 2 days away.
You're on CYInterview.
I'd like to welcome my guest this time. His real name is James Harris, but he played one of the greatest gimmicks of all time in World Wrestling Federation history, Kamala. I'd like to welcome you. How are you today, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing very good.
Yeah, I'm doing real good now. I've learned how to speak English.
Yeah. You came into the Memphis territory as Sugar Bear Harris, which was run by Jerry Lawler and Jerry Jarrett. Did either of them come up with the Kamal character? And also, you taped some vignettes in Jerry Jarrett's backyard. Am I right?
Yeah, it was done in Jerry Jarrett's backyard. But now, yeah, Lawler did come up with the name Kamala, K-I-M-A-L-A. But then later on, I changed it to K-A-M-A-L-A.
Before your days at the WWF, you had the chance to tour Africa, where you started wearing your makeup, am I right? And also, what was wrestling like in Africa compared to American style? What was like the culture like there?
Wrestling there was kind of like in England. We wrestled by rounds, like 3-minute rounds, about like boxing. And that's the way it was there. And for the people and everything, they were about the same as they were here. I was surprised.
Did they really get into it?
Oh, yes, they do. You have big crowds. It was real good. I enjoyed it.
You actually had the chance to feud with Bruiser Brody in a series of world-class championship wrestling matches. Tell me about that, and what do you think about the whole situation of him passing away in Puerto Rico?
Bruiser Brody and I, we had a lot of matches together, and we drew a lot of money together. I done real good with him. He was a good friend of mine. Matter of fact, he was the one that got me my first biggest payoff. And I was supposed to work with him. I think it's been so long ago, about 3 weeks. Let me see. Within 3 weeks, I was supposed to work with him again. And he was a real good friend of mine. We worked real good together.
You have claimed in the past that you never made any money in the WWF. Why is that?
That's the thing. I never made money in the WWF. And a lot of people can't believe that the biggest organization in the world. I don't know why I didn't make money. Well, I think why, but I just hate to keep bringing it up. But you think that my opponent at the SummerSlam in London, I only made $13,000 and my opponent made $587,000 more than I did. That was not fair in no kind of way.
Do you think that the Kamal character really got over because you really didn't speak?
Oh, yeah, it got over real well. I mean, I was on top for a long time and, wrestling all the top guys and drawing money everywhere in all the big buildings throughout the world.
You actually got into a fight when you wrestled Andre the Giant for the first time. What exactly happened?
Well, we was in Oklahoma City, and we was in separate dressing room where we couldn't talk to each other, talk our match over, and what we was going to do, and so we got out there and made a mistake. And he claimed that I made the mistake, so he threw me up off him and called me a name. And when he did that, I drove him back into the corner. I mean, I beat the daylight out of him, but not saying that I could whip him because I know I couldn't, but I think I scared him. And after that, I had no more problem. I wrestled Andre the Giant all over the United States, all over the world. Never had another problem.
Gorilla Monsoon did not really enjoy the Kamal character, am I right?
Right. I think because he was a big man and I could do some of the things. I never didn't watch any of his matches and can't remember any of his matches. But they tell me he was a good wrestler and an agile wrestler. But I was too, and I think he was just a little jealous of me. I mean, they tell me that he was good too.
You had a good relationship with Hulk Hogan that went as far as in your feud, he wanted you to go over in a non-title world title match. Am I right? Why didn't that happen?
Chief J. Strongbow, he would not allow it. And it was a non-title match, and he wanted me to go over, but Chief J. Strongbow wouldn't allow it.
You and Hogan actually had a match in Maple Leaf Gardens where he had his face painted like your face. Did you actually get to paint the Hulkster's face? And tell me how that all came about.
Yeah, well, we did. The people think that he did. Well, they did at the time. They might know better now. But I the one painted his face. We done it everywhere. We done it something everywhere, and I did it every night for him.
When you moved over to WCW, you made $800 for your final pay-per-view appearance with the company, which was at a WCW Bash at the Beach. Why don't you think Eric Bischoff ever did anything for you, since you were kind of friends with Hulk Hogan and you had feuds together?
I don't know. Eric, he spoke to me one time that I can remember, and that was the time that after the match of Hogan and I on the Bash at the Beach. Yeah, I only made $800, but I didn't even have a contract in WCW. They wouldn't give me a contract. So after that, I left out. I came back home and started back driving truck.
Back at WrestleMania 17, you had the chance to compete in the Gimmick Battle Royal. Did you enjoy being back for one night on the biggest wrestling show of the year?
I was kind of hesitant about going because I have so much bad memories of the WWF, but I went on anyway. And I'm kind of glad that I did because I got a chance to see a lot of the guys, the Undertaker guys that I used to work with, and it was kind of sad too. But after that, I was ready to catch the first thing smoking coming back home. I didn't even want to see Vince's face, and I did see it. I saw him off distance. I stayed out of his way. I didn't even want to get close to him.
Why don't you think that Vince McMahon treated you well in the World Wrestling Federation, since you were working like with Hogan in a feud and all that stuff on top?
So why not?
Why don't you think he treated you well when you were working with Hogan at the top of the wrestling business at the World Wrestling Federation at the time you were there the first time?
I don't know why he treated me that way, but I'll tell you what I believe is he thinks just because I'm from Mississippi and we kind of slow down this way. But we getting better. We kind of slow and we're not able to defend ourselves like a lot of other guys. We don't know how to do business. Some of us now, not all of us, don't know how to do business. So I think that's one of the reasons.
How do you think that the wrestlers reacted to your character? Do you think they enjoyed it?
I think they did. I think they did because it put bucks in their pocket during the time I was there.
Finally, tell me about the book you're coming out with, and what it will mainly focus on besides your wrestling career. What can we expect in the book besides, highlights of your career?
It's gonna have a lot of things. I know a lot of wrestlers have wrote books, but it's gonna have some things in there from my viewpoint, from the way I was treated in the WWF. It's something like when what happened back in the 40s or the 50s. I had to sit in. If I get me a decent dressing room when I get to the building. Then when the agents come in, they would move me out and put guys like Randy Savage or Hogan. It'll tell about all of that. It'll tell about when I was 400 pounds and it was hard for me to sit in a seat on the plane. They had me in coach class, and when I asked Vince for a first class seat, he wouldn't do it. So he would buy a seat for guys that was half my size, first class. So it'll tell about all of that, the dressing room, and it was just like I was treated like a slave.
You're an amazing person, to say the least. Someone who just went through the wrestling business, did what you could, and, you're an amazing person, to say the least. Thank you so much for this interview.
Okay, thank you.